This cannot be accurate. I just don't believe this. This is Jim Metokur. James Augustine changed his name that his daddy gave him. He said, there's no way this can, I know I'm jumping around, but you know, this is a really long segment. This can't be accurate. There's no way this is true, right? Like, I mean, are you reading this? Let me make it a little bit bigger. No, I'll just leave it how it is. I can read it like that. I'll read it to you guys. He says, currently, and let me go ahead and reset the power chat thing just in case it breaks on its own. How the fuck? Where the fuck? I got way too many tabs up now. I want to give this the justice that it deserves, though. Because if true, this is like a really serious situation. Some of you have probably already read it, but he says, currently I've got a broken foot, rib fractures, T6 and T8 fractures listed as moderate to severe. I believe that's spine, right? And that's in your spine, right? Kidney stones and weeping edema in the legs. It's been 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 5, excuse my southernness coming out there. 4 to 5 weeks of being stuck in a sitting position for 20 hours a day until the pain, until I pass out because the pain is too much to lie down. Of course, most of these people I've blocked. So he's got a broken foot, rib fractures, T6 and T8 fracture, which is spinal fractures, I believe. Listed as moderate to severe kidney stone. Remember, he said he had heart attack too. He had a heart attack or two, right? Remember, he said that too. It's been 4 to 5 weeks of being stuck in a sitting position for 20 hours a day until I pass out because the pain is too much to lie down. Well, you know what? I'll just say I hope that's true, because that's the type of pain you deserve, you lying sack of shit. So again, I really have a hard time believing it, but is this a video, Jim? Well, no, he can't walk. Oh, wait.
I just want to ask you something.
Ralph a curse indeed, if all that's true, yes. Oh no. Jim tried to get up from his gamer chair. Oh no. It's tough. Yeah, nobody deserves it more, I have to say, if that's true. Me too, literally. I have to say, I'm experiencing a little schadenfreude myself, if that's true. Because literally that's what he deserves for lying about me. So many others as well, but specifically me, because I care about, you know, me over those other people. But but specifically me. And you know, I'm really hoping that's the case. So, you know what? I'm just gonna take him at his word because I want it to be true. So I really shouldn't take so much pleasure in reading a paragraph like that. I know that that's, you know, not good, but he would be doing the same if I wrote out a paragraph like that. So I don't feel bad about it. A tribute show, man. I wonder if it'll happen before the election. I have bonitis. Karma's a bitch. Yep. I shouldn't feel so good about that. But it's like, I really, and you know, again, there's doubts about whether he's been telling the truth about all this stuff. But I really hope that's true. I really do. Because nobody deserves it more. Perhaps maybe Cog, but not even really, because nobody cares about him. So nobody deserves it more. And don't worry, we'll give him the send-off he deserves, for sure, if he does. If these are indeed the last days of Jim Metokur, we'll give him the send-off he deserves for certain.
Instructions and carried out, primarily led by Mossad. From an operational point of view, obviously a stunning success.
Now, I've been on a sobriety streak. I don't know. I would hate to break out the champagne.
Anonymous sent $10. He will die almost alone. But at least Flamenco and Gator will carry on the torch, carry on the legacy.
You know, I like I said, I've been on a sobriety, like really trying to focus on that, and you know, I had a couple of slips. But I may, you know, if it actually happened, I might actually just have to get out the champagne. I don't know. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to think that way, but I just may actually have to get out the champagne. I don't know. I'm not sure. At least he'll be surrounded by his anime pillows, yeah, and his fat Korean wife. He couldn't even get the Japanese wife. He had to settle for the Korean. Is he really gonna die soon? God, I hope so. Yep, Jim L. Hopefully he takes that final L pretty soon. I guess to reunite with Coach Red Pill. Oh, man. I really shouldn't, you know, karmatically speaking, I really shouldn't, you know, celebrate his upcoming supposedly demise so much, but I just can't help it. And I know for a fact he would do the same thing for me. If I was to die, this guy would do a celebration stream. So would the Queen O Casino. So would all these faggots. And so I just have to pay it back in kind. You just have to give it how you would get it. I know for a fact if I was to get killed tomorrow, if my plane crashed tomorrow, they would celebrate. Every one of these faggots. Metokur would have a celebration stream. All these motherfuckers would. And so while it's not really like, I've tried to like, you know, get that type of hate, you know, it's not really healthy, honestly. But as Jim himself said, me and Ralph hate each other. And he said that came out of his own mouth. We heard it on the show. And he's right. We do hate each other. And I do wish for his death. I mean, I'd be lying to you guys if I told you otherwise. So, and I know he feels the same way about me. For me, that's what makes it okay. You know, some people I have, you know, disagreements or beefs with. You know, I wouldn't even want to see him dead. The casino faggots, yeah, they're in that category too. But, and they say the same thing openly about me too, by the way, right? They all say this shit openly. And Metokur said I was going to end up dead this year. Well, it's almost September 20th, my birthday. We're going to do my birthday early tomorrow, but I'm still here. I think he said by the end of the year. Well, it's getting pretty close to the end of the year. And I'm still here, and you're suffering so bad that you're passing out in your chair from pain because it hurts too much to lie down. I'm blessed by God. You said it yourself. God is a fan of the Killstream. I could have easily died in that car wreck. You know that, right? Easily. And many other things could happen to me. But they don't. I don't know. It's weird. And you're sitting there in such pain that you can't lie down and you have to pass out in your fucking anime chair. Probably got some lolicon stamped on the back and a dildo for a seat. That's how much pain you're in. Do you ever wonder why? Do you ever think, I know you don't believe in God or anything, and I was agnostic, and I'm still kind of feeling my way around with faith, etc. That's why I said, you know, I don't know, it's really not good to wish for somebody's death, but when you know that's how they feel about you, I don't know. I think the Lord can forgive that, honestly. But I don't speak for him, but do you ever think about why you're so fucked up? And why you have all these maladies and why you seemingly have been cursed by God? I'm just wondering, do you ever think about like why you have all these issues and you're in such pain that you can't even lie down? And they're talking about putting you in hospital. If this is even true, by the way, we have to put a big if here. And you've had heart attacks and broken backs and your foot's broken and you got some kind of fucking disease that they can't even figure out what it is. According to you, by the way. We don't know. You lie a lot. So, but do you ever wonder why these things have happened to you? It's because you deserve it. It's because that's what you fucking deserve. For spending years, really stuff even before me, but for spending years trying to break up my family, trying to falsely accuse me of rape, falsely accuse my mother of rape. Do you wonder why you're suffering so much? I don't wonder. I know why. It's because you're evil. And the wicked will be punished. Now, I've done some dirt. I've done some arguably wicked things in my day. But I'm not truly wicked. You are truly wicked. You are truly evil. And that's why you are being punished in this way. Because you're actually an evil person who deserves to suffer in this manner.
Kioskman sent $1 on Rumble. Ralph is Bruce Willis and Metokur is Mr. West.
That's right. I'm being dead serious. Does he ever wonder why, like, does he ever think about like why he's been, I mean, if he's to be believed, and I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And he did show some documentation. You know, I know we've had theories on here that it's not real. Let's just put that off the table and say it is real. I wonder if he ever thinks about, is this some sort of curse that's been put upon him? For his misdeeds, for his lies, or over, not just me, by the way. It just so happens to be what, about, I don't know, 3 years of lies worth on me, but, and not just lies, but vicious slander, libel, calling me a rapist, calling me an abuser. Spreading the lie that I choked out my Mexican girlfriend, which she is not my girlfriend anymore, but she came out and admitted that was not the case. But I wonder if he ever thinks about it.
Sent $10 almost time, Jim.
We had a good time, though, I gotta say. But and he's a backstabber. No loyalty. Bitcoin from James Gardner. I'll be down.
For a long time.
Run on for a long time.
Run on for a long time.
I'm gonna read that chain reactionary.
Gotta cut you down.
Yeah, he used to be cool with me until he wasn't. He's a backstabber, and he's done that to everybody his whole career.
Go tell that long-tongued liar.
It's almost
Go
time,
tell
Jim.
that midnight rider. Tell the rambler,
It's
the
almost
gambler,
time,
the
Jim.
Backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down.
Ryan Harkness, sir. Hold on, let me get you over on the screen. Trump's on the screen. I'd plan to cover some of his rally. I don't know if you care about his rally or not, but
yeah, I do. I care these days.
All right. Well, you want to watch some of it and see what he's saying, or?
Yeah, let's do that. It's the most important election of our lifetime, Ralph. How can I not care about it?
Well, yeah, they say that every 4 years, but
Yeah, it's not like Israel has dictated every single fucking election since JFK was assassinated or anything like that.
no, that's definitely not the case, and I would never even suggest such a thing. Now, let me. Okay, then let me try to. Do you have it pulled up? I don't know. Fuck, I lost the damn window myself.
What, the rally?
Yeah.
I could find it.
Let's see. I'll send you the link. So we'll watch this.
Okay, do that.
Define child sex trafficking.
So is Jim Metokur really dying or what? Is it for
we could talk
realsies
about
this
that
time?
instead. I mean, I hope so.
I mean, what you find the link and shit.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Should we talk about Metokur dying or watch the Trump rally? We could do either one. I mean, he's been dying for a while now. So like I don't know. He claims it's getting worse, and you know, this might be the end. He's probably just trying to sell some more merch, who knows, but I hope it's true. I hope it's true that he's in such pain that he cannot lie down. And that he sits in his chair for 20 hours at a time until he just physically passes out for about 4 hours of meager sleep. I hope that that's true, but you know, the guy has a track record of lying, so you know, I couldn't say for sure. He sounds pretty specific, and he's shown some records, and it's not like he couldn't. You know, some of them look like they'd be pretty hard to fake. So. You know, Mersh got him so hard by saying he was faking that that he showed all of his medical history. Mersh fucked with him so bad.
Can you hear me now? My mic wasn't working for a second. All right, I had to reload it. Sorry about that, but I heard everything you said. Yeah.
Oh wait, you cut out for a sec. Go ahead. You're good now. I think. Uh-oh, the mic got him. It might be Google Meets. You might have to switch the... you see those 3 dots where it says more options? Hit settings and then hit audio. You might have to switch. That could be it. I'm not 100% certain. All right, he's going to join. He's going to rejoin. Okay, you here?
Check. Do you hear me? Check.
I hear you. Now,
check.
I was able to hear you before.
How about now? Check.
Yes.
Check. Okay. I think we got it.
That's the right mic. Yeah, I can hear it. Sounds a lot better now. Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, I don't mind talking about Metokur. I was never really a listener of Jim, but the first I'm late on a lot of internet shit, which is probably good considering you know, it's a statement on how online I am or how lack of terminally online I am. The first time he came across my radar was COVID, because he got a lot of heat then because of how sensational he was about it. And that's the first time.
You mean full of shit about it? Is that what you mean?
It was it was initially when nobody knew jack shit, and like even me, like I was leery about, you know, the idea of a pandemic and shit. Like I'm talking about in the early days.
Yeah, yes.
And I know the timeline's foggy right now, but he was talking all this shit about COVID, and I was getting ready to go on like one of the first out of country international vacations, excuse me, that I've ever been on. And me and my chick were going to go to Costa Rica. And at that time, since he came across my radar, I started listening to Jim's commentary because I think he popped so hard because he was sensationalizing COVID. He was talking about, I don't know if you remember, but like Chinese people dropping dead in the streets and dogs dying of it and all this shit. And I remember I had it on my phone, and this was like the night before we were about to fly to Costa Rica. And my girl heard this stuff, and she was like, I don't think I even want to go now. And even back then, this isn't a statement of hubris or anything like that, but I pretty much had it pegged. Like, I thought this whole thing was going to turn out exactly like it actually did. It was going to be a huge agenda for transfer of wealth. And, you know, long story short, it ended up being like that. But he almost not only ruined my vacation, he set a kind of a blaze of paranoia in my own household, if you know what I mean, regarding COVID with the shit that he was saying. And that's when I shut him off and never listened to another Jim thing since then. So that's I don't have any history of listening to him other than that. But that's, if we're keeping check marks in the pros and cons, I have one big con when it comes to Jim Metokur. And I don't know your history with him, but I kind of know the gist of it.
It's extensive.
And I was listening earlier, it was something about, I've had allegations made about me, not by men per se, but if somebody's insinuating like you're a sexual deviant or a rapist or anything like that can not even need to be true, and it could tarnish your reputation irreparably sometimes.
Well, sure.
What's the deal with that? What was he saying about you regarding that?
Well, there was some whore named Alice who sucked my dick, and then she went on stream one week and said that no, Ralph didn't rape me, then, it wasn't untoward. And then the very next week, she went on that same stream, and they concocted it into a rape story. And they said that I mouth raped her while she was passed out, which doesn't make any sense if you know anything about getting your dick sucked. I mean, I guess you could do that, but
it wouldn't be fun.
Right, it wouldn't be fun because there's no suction. I mean, the person would be passed out, right? So,
not good.
You would just
pretty
rather
much as
jack off and do
sensationalized
that.
claims about fucking COVID.
Yes. Well, literally one week she said no, Ralph did not rape me, and literally the next week that she changed the story, and she also lied about 3 other people raping her as well. So. Including 2 people who gangbanged her, and she said they raped her, and then they released the footage of them gangbanging her, proving that she wasn't raped, quite explicitly proving that she wasn't raped. So she's accused at least 3 to 4 people. Well, actually, she accused Bake too, so 4 different people of rape falsely. So, and she literally changed her story from one week to the next. One week it was, no, Ralph didn't rape me, da da da, and the next week it was Ralph raped me because she knew that would get her attention.
Well, she deserves to be raped then, and I'm not even joking about that, because if you put that out there and it's not true, and you're trying to play the victim or something like that, like you at least, I don't know if they've done it in certain states. I even made a tweet about that not too long ago when Trump did a press statement. It was like a couple weeks ago, I think, about his rape trial. It was right after that police thing that he did, and he was talking about like a fake dress that they claim they had. All that to say,
Yeah.
it got me thinking about like false rape accusations. And I really do believe that if you falsely accuse a man of rape just for whatever reason, to, you know, because you regret fucking him, you want to get back at him for something, anything short of him actually raping you, if you accuse a man of rape, I really do believe that there should be a prison sentence for that. Not jail, not, you know, a wrist. I think you should get the equivalent to whatever, you know, penalty that man would be sentenced to if he was convicted of that rape that you were accusing of.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, they all, even though she contradicted herself, like literally 1 week to the next, the people who hate me just ran with it anyway because they don't care if things are true or not. They just like to slander me. And by the way, I've done some fucked up things, but you know, I'm like, I've never claimed to be the king of morality. There are some things I've done that, you know, I wish I hadn't.
I doubt you've ever held somebody down against their.
I've never raped a woman in my life, so I can say that with 100% certainty.
Yeah.
And
Jim kind of deserves what's. I know the whole fake cancer meme has been going around, and I think it's funny. But if, you know, just like any woman who falsely accuses a man of rape, if he's falsely accusing another man of rape, maybe he does deserve bone cancer or asshole and dick cancer or whatever he claims that he has. And furthermore,
and by the way, I don't disagree with your conclusion that she deserves to get raped. I don't give a fuck. She deserves to have whatever the fuck. She deserves to have what Jim has. Like, I mean, she's evil. She's an evil person. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just really like that line that you had a few minutes ago.
It's
sorry.
True. It's fucking. It's an evil fucking to put on some man that I don't know. Like, I think the tide is turning when it comes to. I don't want to get manosphere and men's rights ish in this shit, but like legislation when it comes to family court and stuff, I think over the years the Overton window has shifted back to a little bit more fairness when it comes to men, which is an excellent thing. But that being said, like with Jim and his shit with coronavirus, like I do believe that there's a karma element to people for whatever reason. I'll let
now sent $3
is that super chat
running with the Elise story. It's pretty much the only time you did get away with it. If you did it, not even the long arm of the law could fault you for the Elise situation. Uncle Sam Cozing's math flicking Elise.
Thank you, A-Log Hater. I appreciate the $3. Now we're only 15 away from the goal. 15 away from the goal. Can we hit the goal? Go, 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 go. 15 away. A measly 15 away. What do you mean? We can't do that. No show tomorrow. No show tomorrow. We don't hit the goal. Oh, God, that meltdown. That was unbelievable.
Fuck the fucking content. Put a gun to the content's head if you don't get what you want.
It's just so fucking.
Let's talk about that later for sure. Put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin. Let's keep with this because you're absolutely right. And all these people ran with this just obviously fake story. Now, I was with someone I used to know, as I described at the time. Well, I'll be damned.
Mary Jane sent
Mary
$20
Jane!
There we go. We hit the goal. The queen of the chat, Mary Jane. So now I can stop talking about it. All right, good.
I have, and it's not, this isn't
Thank
hyperbole.
you, Mary Jane, by the way. Go ahead.
It's not an exaggeration. I have an ire, a pure hatred for the people that propagated the lie that was COVID. Because I truly think that that was one of the biggest crimes against us, against humanity in general, against the whole fucking globe. And Jim got a taste of that. He made money off of being a COVID faggot. That is undeniable at this point. He took all of the most outlandish, untrue talking points, and it actually touched my household in a way that worked to my detriment. So fuck you, Jim. I hope you do have all that fucking cancer, and I hope it eats you alive. Your T1, your T3. I hope that you're on the verge of of this shit right now. I hope you're going to the poltergeist. Jim, go into the lights. Go into the lights, Jim. Go into the lights. And Keely's arms, all his fucking his fans are like, no, don't go into the light, Jim. It's like, no, go into his little Korean fucking chick. Go into the light.
She ain't little. She's fat as fuck.
Yeah, she's fucking weird, but I think he deserves what he's getting, because I don't fucking everybody from the Faucis to the Jim Medicers, everybody that got a fucking taste of this nasty shit, like I have such a disdain for, because it's I can't even put into words how fucked up and how many ripple effects go out. Dude, I've had friends that have eaten their fucking 1911s in the parking lot of their workplace.
Yes.
I've had people that have died because of the vaccine. I have people that fucking have irreparable damage from, not only COVID itself fucked some boomers and some unhealthy people up, but vaccine injuries, people destitute, people on drugs now, like they're the amount of damage that shit caused from basically what Jim engaged in, from sensationalizing about it for profit, is immeasurable. It's innumerable, and we're going to feel that shit for many fucking decades to come, if we ever fucking get over it.
And I talked about, this was my opening monologue on the show. It basically ruined the country. It was collective trauma inflicted upon the country. And I won't go into my whole thing because I want to clip it out, I believe. And he didn't just do it for profit. He actually believed in it. And he got the vax, promoted the boosters. He showed his medical records. Allegedly, they're his medical records, and he's got like 18 booster shots and all the vaccine. No, I'm not kidding. It's not 18, but it's literally like 4.
It's
like
a
4
lot.
or 5. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 boosters.
4 or 5 is a lot.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of booster shots and the original vaccine, and no, he's a true believer in COVID. It would be one thing if he just did it for the money. But no, and of course he did make a lot of money hyping it up, but no, he's a true believer. And you're lying earlier, doubling back. There's this hater that I've been arguing with. There's people who watch me daily. They hate me, but they watch me anyway. And so he wonders why we think he has no business being around any female. First off, this is a tranny that I'm talking to right now, by the way.
Really?
So they're not a female. Quote, she deserves to be raped. Wondering why I have no business being around any female. Well, I mean, a person who falsely accuses someone of rape, saying they deserve to be raped is not a controversial statement to me. And they deserve to be, I'll choose my words carefully here. They deserve worse than that, honestly. And I'll leave it to the imagination. But
taking somebody's life away.
Yeah.
I'll let the super chat
play. Sent $10. Don't forget. Jim raped his Korean rap hog wife. Live on air.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
Well, that's right. And I'm glad you mentioned that.
Jim Augustine.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's auto playing.
That's the real record, Jim. Not the fake bullshit.
Can you hear that?
Just through your headphones.
Okay.
That's the real record.
Going through.
Let me see if I can fix that.
I'm hearing some arrest him in chat. Well, he married the bitch now, so I doubt that'll happen. But that doesn't change what you did.
Can you hear it now?
That doesn't change that you sexually assaulted her live on air.
I believe so.
And here it is for everybody in the world to hear. I don't think they went back and listened to it. 2014 was a different era, Jimbo. Other Jimbo.
I could hear
it's
that.
Kind of a different time.
Yes, it's playing through that. That's it.
Now that we're a bit more civilized, re-examining this, and by the way, even listening to it then, it was uncomfortable.
I figured it
you
out.
Want to throw around accusations? This ain't no accusation, motherfucker.
Yay.
This is you live on fucking tape with your woman screaming, "Stop. Stop it, Jim," while you continue on. It goes on, by the way. We're not done.
This is true, by the way.
You want to put out these kind of accusations? Well, here it is right here. Why don't you answer to that one? It ain't an accusation. It's a fact of life.
I may have had a drink this day, by the way, but
19 years
not
old.
today, but during this,
Older 30-year-old man in front of his mega YouTube audience with Sargon of Akkad and other assorted Isalevs on the panel rapes his woman against her will live on air. That's what we just saw.
That's true. Does anybody have the clip where he actually does it? Oh, listen.
You want to know where? What is this?
He has a foot fetish.
Just read the comments. Seriously, the comments and just go.
Comments are fantastic.
It just caught up to the part where he said, "I don't believe in anti-Semitism." Nor do I believe in that.
Jim, go the fuck away.
It sounded almost like she was about to cry, didn't it? It literally sounded like she was about to cry. Jim, go the fuck away. Like tears. I mean, we can't see her. There could actually be tears streaming down her face right now.
That was a stream?
Yes, that was live on air in front of about 5,000 people.
Nor do I believe in that.
Jim, go the fuck away.
Oh my god. Is this, are we like getting into semi-porn? Is this going to be banned off of YouTube? I feel it's going to be...
Guys, we should just go quiet for a minute and just listen to Jade and Jim.
What? Film me on aliens? Listen, if aliens existed...
By the way...
Anonymous sent $3. Are you uncomfortable because you are not being fucked by Jim with them farmer muscles also Ponsu like
This bitch sounds kind of fat, by the way.
No, I'm not
She is
uncomfortable
fat.
for either of those reasons. I'm uncomfortable because of the sheer terror in Jade's voice as she's being raped by Jim live on air. So that's
had a
the
little
part that makes me
gravy bass
uncomfortable.
in her voice, you
And
know what I
people
mean?
can say, "Oh, she's moaning or giggling." Well, yeah, I mean that too. But you clearly heard her say, "Stop, no, Jim, stop."
Stop,
Moaning
Jim,
or
I'm
giggling,
hungry.
That doesn't mean anything
I want
at all,
chicken.
actually. That's just a natural reaction, and you could be doing that to get out of the situation. She's still being put on display in front of his audience, being fingered against her will.
Sexual assault would probably be
Like,
a more accurate term.
You can't say,
but-
"Oh, she's laughing."
yeah, he
Okay,
sexually
yeah,
assaulted
but she
her
clearly
live on
said
air
stop.
against her will.
Live on air, she said, "Stop."
So the bit is he's going to finger blast her live on air? And that's, but what is this, like fucking 2006
Look,
reality
any neutral
TV or
observer would say
something?
the same thing. Go play this on Twitter. Of course, Jim fanboys, obviously, they ain't going to say shit. But just somebody who knew nothing about the situation, and you played it and be like, "What do you think about this? You think this is..."
She said stop. I mean, you heard her say that,
You think
right?
this is cool to do to women?
Yeah, like in fairness to him, though,
She said
like
stop.
it's... I don't know if you could construe that at...
Oh, wait, hold on.
A Smaster 33
I would say
cent
sexual
$1
assault,
on
not
Rumble.
rape, but no.
Ching chong bing bong rang tang ting tong.
I mean, that's his bitch. They're
No.
doing
But
finger
wait.
shit
You don't
on
know the
her.
full context. That was the first
I
time
know.
they had ever met.
Oh, really?
Yes. And she was like 18, 19 years old. He was 30 something. Of course, far be it for me to talk about banging 18-year-olds. But, she flew up there to Minnesota. This was the first time they had ever met, the first weekend they had together. And he did a big mega Gamergate stream. This was in 2014. This was 10 years ago, almost to the day. Almost to the day. It happened, I believe, in November. So we're a little bit past. And then he got mad and quit because people criticized him for this stream afterwards. He got mad and quit Gamergate. But no, this was the first time they met. This wasn't when they were married or anything like that.
Was she a listener?
Yeah, she was a listener. We were all friends. I was friends with her. I was friends with Metokur. Metokur's been on this show like 100 times. That's another thing that you might not know. The history.
No,
of the
I've caught some of those shows.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know you guys were amicable at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when it went awry.
We were both figureheads, I guess you might say, of Gamergate. Milo and me and him and Sargon and King of Paul at that time.
I used to listen to a bunch of. I've caught a bunch of those streams for sure. Like I said, I'm not terminally online, so I don't know all the bits and pieces of the lore. But I definitely remember an era when I could hear. I mean, wasn't it a blood sport when Dick Masterson and him debated COVID?
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you go back and listen to
that.
that, Dick completely destroyed him, especially in light of what we know now. I mean, it was a complete destruction.
Yeah, I have no quarter, no forget and forgive for anybody that propagated the COVID shit. Like that is one point of contention where I know the Christian ethos is to forgive even under the gravest circumstances, but I never will for some people. I mean, just recently, my 1-year-old got reinfected with this, well, infected for the first time with this new strain of COVID, if that was it. He popped hard for COVID. But he's he's a little baby. He still has developing lungs and shit, and it fucked him up really bad. Like he had to go to the emergency room. I have audio of him like that coming out of a tiny baby is
scary. Yeah,
it's fucking terrifying to hear. And I'm not medicating it here and saying for the most part COVID was a fucking a serious deal. Statistically, it's a cold for the most part. But if you administer anything like that was created in a lab, natural or whatever, to the population, there's a percentage of people that it's going to fuck up.
Yes.
And they pulled the trigger on that. There's I think even people that were skeptics of the conspiracy theories back in the day. Nobody buys the bat fucking pangolin soup theory or wet market bullshit or anything like that. This thing was created at the University of North Carolina. Obama banned gain of function research, so they went through loopholes. Fauci funded it through I think it was called EcoHealth Alliance, which was a shell company to outsource it to China to make it over there. They, at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, they created it over there, and it was, in my opinion, intentionally released upon the world to bring about what we have now. That is one of the most fucking evil things I can fucking imagine. Either people that were directly affected by the disease or the bioweapon that was created in response to the bioweapon, and all the ancillary ripple effects out to drug addiction, alcohol, people's relationships falling apart. All this shit is unforgivable to me. And if you made a fucking dime off of it, especially in the manner that Metokur did, I hope you aren't fake Cancer Man. I hope you are absolutely real Cancer Man, and your T1, T2 dick and balls get riddled with the shit. And you know what? Go get your booster. Go get your booster, Jim. Shoot it right into that fucking cancerous goiter growing off the fucking side of your cock and balls. See if that fucking helps. Brought to you by Pfizer, you motherfucker. I have no quarter, no forgiveness for anybody that fucking propagated this shit. And he absolutely did. So fuck that nigger. I hope he fucking, I hope he really has it. I do.
Well, I do too. And so we just got remonetized today.
Wait, are we just on Rumble? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. For sure. And people laugh when I talk about what an effect he had. He had a huge effect on this sector, quote unquote, but on the internet at large, with those scare streams about COVID. And it was total bullshit. He pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and then he mysteriously just disappeared for, I don't know, 9 months,
yeah, right
10
when
months.
The tide started,
when the tide started turning,
changing.
yes, and people started calling it out for the bullshit that it was. He disappeared and come back. And then he came back, and now he never fucking talks about it. He won't even acknowledge that he was wrong about it.
Right, you don't know what we're dealing with here. There's people reportedly dropping dead in the streets of China. I mean,
yeah, it was all bullshit. Like, all that shit was bullshit. It was all trash.
Fake fucking videos.
And I do believe it was released on purpose, but even if it was by accident, whatever, we shouldn't have been doing that type of fucking research anyway.
Absolutely not.
And so, whether it was on purpose or by accident, it was our fault in the first fucking place, right? And so, I mean, us and China, but like, we were funding the shit. I don't know. It's just bizarre. But regardless, the scare tactics that he used, and he was legitimately scared because he has like some kind of fucking weird autoimmune disease. So
he said, let me ask you something. You know that that one face reveal that is reported to be him? Like if you were to Google Metokur face, is that him? That kind of, that's him?
Yeah, that's him standing next to his aunt, I believe. And she, I think that she had just passed away, or they were like at his mother's funeral or some shit like that. But yeah, that's him standing next to his aunt. Now they cut his aunt out of most of the photos, but the full photo has him and his aunt standing there.
I thought it was because I'm pretty good with matching faces, the voices, and I look at that picture and I'm like, that sounds like him. I think that's
really him. That's confirmed as him. Yeah.
Yeah, figures. But he looks like somebody that engages in. I mean, I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to fucking live a very unhealthy lifestyle. It gave me autoimmune diseases, and I was fucking overweight, and I felt like I was dying, and I was shitting blood, and my life wasn't good when I was engaging in like standard American diet and fucking all that kind of stuff. And he looks like the kind of guy that has fallen for the tricks that statistically, and this isn't, a particular knock against anybody that doesn't put any thought into what they put in their body as far as food and shit goes, but he looks like a guy who, he eats a standard American diet. He fucking, he's probably on a litany of prescription drugs for autoimmune diseases that are caused by that diet, et cetera, and he plays the game, and that's kind of what you get. Again, I don't want to fault him too much, because I think, like, if you look at it now, statistically, most people are fucking doing that in the United States. And it kind of got me thinking, like how much weight you lost. The majority of that was when you moved to Mexico.
All of that was when I moved to Mexico.
So, like, I have a theory, and I'm not trying to discount. I absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, know that the vast majority of the reasons that you lost weight were because you put your mind to do so. You change your habits. You put in.
Well, I had a life event that I can't really discuss for legal reasons, and then I just decided that I was going to lose a ton of weight.
And sometimes that weird and often horrible shit will push you into something positive like that, and that's.
Well, I'd been to jail, and long-term fans of the show know that I had to do 8 months in jail, and I lost 100 pounds in jail already once, and so I knew I could do it. Like, I knew the methods. Like, I know intermittent fasting and the 1 meal a day and drink a ton of water. And I was working out hardcore in jail. Now, when I lost it this time, I wasn't actually working out hardcore. I did a lot of walking. But I was doing like 300 burpees a day by the time I left jail. And like, I was like really fit when I left jail. But this time I just did it.
But you were eating tortas in Mexico, right?
Yeah, just eating tortas in Mexico.
To think of tortas, like, tortas are absolutely fucking delicious. We had this joint I'm from the Tampa area, and we have this place called the Taco Bus. It's kind of corporate owned now, and it's been fucking bought out and shitty. It used to be a literal bus in the middle of North Ybor City that true fucking beaners slung some of the most delicious Mexican food out of that you could get in the state. And I'm from California, so I know what good Mexican food is. And it changed, but like, going back to my theory about what might have contributed to your weight loss, like, Mexico is not America. And exclusively in America, if you take a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, or take any processed food or standard thing that you'd see in the middle of the grocery store, if you look at the ingredients, it's way longer, that list of ingredients, than the same product that you would see in Mexico, because the Mexican government does not allow them to put the fucking amount of shit and preservatives and natural flavors and all this fucking garbage. They're obesogens, which are literal things to make you addicted to the food and fucking literally get fat. the food shit is so fucking corrupt in the United States. And I think, again, I'm not trying to discount the work that you did, because I know that you did, but I
No,
do
a lot of
think,
it's the food.
Yeah, Mexico has better food.
No,
better
and even
quality food.
even the bad quote unquote food, like you say, is still better for you than the bad quote unquote food in the U.S. because, like you said, they don't let them put all that bullshit. Even in their processed meats, even in their, like, you know, sweets and stuff like that, and sweet cakes and all. And of course, you know, there's how do you say it? Pasteleria. You would know how to say it better than me, but they have bakeries everywhere. Like you wouldn't really need. Yes. Yes, that's it. And they're everywhere, and there's all these little shops and cafes. It's totally different. Like, it's much better than the United States. Like, I don't know how to put it.
Absolutely, dude. We've gone way fucking downhill in so many ways. But, like, I know I got on kind of a tangent there, but yeah, that's why I think Jim has dick, ball, and asshole cancer, because he eats retarded American food. It's the Jays.
3 sent $1 on Rumble. It's the Jews.
You can hear that now, right?
I think, yeah, I did hear it. It was low, but I did hear it for sure.
Okay, good.
And it wasn't coming just through your
right.
headphones.
Yeah. That's the way. I'm trying to figure out how to get that working again.
But I think it's working. Fuck Jim and fuck anybody else who pushed that COVID shit. No quarter for
and
you.
You know what? I didn't at all, and I was mad to the very last minute because it fucked up a big thing I was going to do in Los Angeles. I remember a guy in Japan, Black Pigeon Speaks, Felix Rex. He, a friend of mine still, we talked a few months ago. We had him on, great interview. Knows a lot about the world traveler, but he lives in Japan. One of the few gaijin over there. And he came on my show in January that year and said they're going to cancel the Olympics. And I said, you crazy motherfucker. I said, they're not going to cancel the Olympics. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's billions of dollars at stake. There's no chance. There's no way. And I love the Olympics, by the way, although I watched almost none this year. I watched the final Dream Team basketball game. That's it. That's unheard of for me. Like, how I got into sports was through the Olympics.
You like summer and winter, or you prefer
nah, just summer. Just summer, really.
Just summer?
Yeah, but that's how I got to loving sports. But I don't really have much time for that to watch sports anymore, unless it's the Chiefs here and there. But I did watch the final Dream Team game, and Steph Curry, that was like all-time performance. It was crazy. But he told me that, and I said, no, there's no way. I was like, they're not going to cancel the Olympics. Well, he was in Japan, and he already had seen, like, how it was being played in the Asian media and the terror and how they were, like, freaking out already over there. And he was right. They did postpone the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I remember to this day, up until the last minute, there was something scheduled in March. Dick Masterson, Road Rage, and I was supposed to go there, and it was going to be this huge event. And I remember up until the last second, I was like, they won't shut this fucking country down. Surely to God they won't. And like 5 days before it was supposed to happen, they shut the whole fucking country down. Like, I mean, fully shut it down for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then they limited it, started opening it back up in limited ways, right? And so I didn't give a fuck. I never took the shot. And then, later on after my mother died, it just didn't feel right because they rushed it out, and it's this new technology. I was
when
like,
has
this
the government ever pushed something so hard?
Yeah,
and you've been
I'm
like, okay.
I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And you rushed this. There's no way you guys cracked the code on this quick. Like, I just didn't believe in it. And then my mom got, she hit her head in the hospital and had a fall and, died slowly over 3 months. And there was a CDC guideline. I've told this story before. I don't know if I've told it to you, but
I know this story.
Yeah, so you've heard me say it, so I won't repeat it. Yeah. But she died on the 10th day, and there was a 10-day. It was just arbitrary, by the way. There was no, like, science-based, oh, we need to keep them away for 10 days. Like, they just made this shit up, and they've admitted they just made it up. Mm-hmm. Now they've admitted that, right? And the whole social distancing and all that, they've admitted that was bullshit, right?
Yeah, 6 feet was absolutely pulled out of their ass. It's documented that all this shit is pulled out of
But
their
after
ass.
that, I just didn't take it out of spite. I was like, they're never going to make me take this fucking shit
Brianna
forever.
Hyper Bimbo
Boy,
sent
hold on.
$2 on Rumble. You average Metokur fanboy. This is his legacy. Poor old man. Can't pull ease desecrate when you get the chance.
All right, let's see. I don't know what that is, but okay, I'll look at that. But let me see.
I almost got stuck in Costa Rica only because I have a family member that works in the airlines, and they tipped us off. They're like, "Look, if y'all we planned a 2-week vacation. We were only like 4-5 days into it, and they called us up and said, look, they're about to shut everything down, just like they did in Japan. If you don't book a flight, an emergency flight tomorrow, you are going to be stuck in Costa Rica for pretty much indefinitely, and you better get a job washing dishes or something." And we got the last flight out of the country, and we made it back home right before everything got fucking shut down. And then pandemonium.
One thing that never shut down, Mexico. They didn't shut the country down at all. They did have the vaccine, but they didn't force people to take it. So a lot of people here didn't take the vaccine. Some did, but a lot of them didn't. And so Mexico never shut down during the entire.
People sleep on Mexico. They don't understand how I know there's
dude. It's based
back in the day. Yeah, I love Mexico. I love Mexicans. I grew up in the by grow up I mean came into adulthood working in the construction industry. So I worked around mostly Mexicans, and that's how como aprender al español, al hablar español. I was the only white boy in the truck for many years of my life. I took the time to figure out what they were saying, and then I made more money because I learned how to talk to the Mexican guys and shit like that. So I was deeply fucking immersed in Mexican culture, and some of the fondest partying memories that I could recall are getting fucked up at like Mexican birthdays and shit and Mexican parties and like there's mountains of Bud Light and Modelo and mariachi music and just fucking fun. They're fun people. They're based. They're more Christian and white as native Mexicans than most people that claim to be Christian and white true. Today. They exhibit the ethos that say like 1950s conservative white Americans would have back then. It's just been embedded in their culture because they haven't wavered and they've stayed under the radar for the most part. I think that's what you're describing when you say they kind of didn't change anything during COVID, because they have, they also have the dynamic where they're still kind of if you're under the foot, which like not a lot of them aren't really under the foot of the cartels, as the media might make it out to be.
They don't understand that conflict.
Yeah, they don't understand. Like in the United States, you see like Goodfellas and all that kind of shit, and you think the biggest crime syndicate was the mafia, and that was the scariest shit back in the day. Well, maybe, but today it's the actual federal government. And things were a lot better when the mafia ran organized crime. Now the federal government and corporations run organized crime. And Mexico still has that dynamic where the cartels run organized crime. And they are a lot more sympathetic to people that want to just fucking be left alone and play the game. It's more American down there under cartel control than it is in the United States under federal and corporate control. And people don't fucking understand that. And is exactly.
Thank you for watching this clip by Colonel J. This is the King of Bold here. Remember to like and subscribe. Juice!